Alright guys, we are recording. There's 104 of you guys in here right now. Congratulations for coming into the TD ORB live training. This is the ORB on steroids. And it does work, but you know, the ORB is not as strong as some of the other indicators that we have built out. So let's go ahead and get started here. Let's go ahead and cut this music off. And let's get started. Let me go through this, how this works. It's very sexy, right? Very sexy. So you guys know that I'm a fib-based trader, and those fibs that I teach are based off an algo, based off the micro and macro event. These two events happen every single day. Sometimes 3 or 4 times in a day, but most of the time the micros happen 4 up, 4 down, 4 sideways, 4 low, 4 high. Whatever it's going to do, the micros always happen. Micros have to happen before the macro event. The macro event is a bigger time frame, so multiple things have to happen before the bigger time frame can see the moves. So we jump into those moves as it's happening into the macro. Alright, so what do? We build a block. We built out an ORB. Opening range breakout is what it stands for. Okay, breakout, BO. And you get faked out a lot in this, okay? So what I tried to do was narrow it down to those that are scalping, or for those that like the setup. Now there's a bunch of different ways to trade it. You can trade on a 5-minute, trade on a 15-minute, trade on a 2-minute, you can trade on a 1-minute. You can trade a 5 and enter on the 1. You can trade a 15, enter on the 5. However you want to do it is kosher to me. Some people don't like the 5 because it's too big. 15 is too big. The 1 minute is just perfect. 2-minute is so-so, right? So I am on M&Q. We're going to run through this, guys. So let's get started. First, let's actually go through the indicator. I will explain everything that's happening here, and then we can go from there, okay? Alright, so what do we have here? As you see here, we have failed retest, we have a block, we have these 2 lines, and we have some words that says failed retest or retest, and it continues to go. Now let me explain what I did here. You could change the colors. These right here change all the colors, okay? So you could change the stop fill, the target fill. I'll show you what these are in a minute. The outline is in Alice blue, text colors in white, right? So we'll go through these. But display, ticks, points, currency, you can pick what you want. I'm in ticks. I want to see things in ticks, not points. And currency, okay, it's going to put, you know, numbers, or it's going to put the orders on there when you take a trade. So no big deal. Now, percent of account value. You can trade up to a certain percent if you want to go and enter all those details. I don't do this, okay? I just don't do it. Let's just go ahead and update it now. I don't do that, okay? I'm on the wrong one. Sorry. That is the order line detect. Let me go back to that because I do want that on there. All right, sorry. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? All right, okay, here we go. This is what I'm supposed to be looking at. All right, display. So here's show RB labels, right? That's going to be the failed retest and retest. Show entries. That's going to show you where you're supposed to be taking trades. Price targets 50% and 100%. That's going to be these 2 lines above, these 2 lines below the ORB. Okay. Show OB midpoint. If you click on it, it's going to draw a dotted line in there. It's going to give you 50%. There it is, right there. A line right there. It's going to give you a line. It shows you 50%. Here, shaded ORB range color. You can change all the colors, right? Purple line, blue line, teal color. I just leave these. These come out of the box this way, okay? Up here, if you don't want to show the labels, just click on it and we'll take the labels off. Boom, right? Hold on a second. What did I do there? Let's click on this. Let's move this up so you don't get involved in looking at anything crazy. Where am I at? Oh, show entries. We want to take that off too. Right, so it takes them off. So there is no entry on there. But if we put them back on, the entries will show. You see, this was looking for and I'll just show you. This was looking for a retest to go short. Okay, you'll get little purple triangles for trades, like this was right here, a triangle. Right, this was a triangle. It hit the fib, and it's telling you that it's going to go long. This is the opposite, right? When you're above, this is telling you to go long. When you're below, it's telling you to go short. We'll go through that here in a minute. Let me take these off, entries off. Boom. Okay, they're off. Now, let's throw in show extended price to 150 to 200. You're going to get some more lines up here. These are Fibonacci patterns, okay? So these are all based off Fibonacci's above the 5-minute ORB, right? I think this is a 5. I'll tell you, yeah, 5-minute ORB, open and range 5-minute. This is 35 to 40 instead of 30 to 40. We're going to change that here in a minute. Or 30 to 35, right? So my time would be 7:35, and this time over here would be 7:30 to be the first 5-minute opening range. So you can change this to 5-minute, you can change it to a 15, you can change it to a 2, you can change it to whatever you want, okay? Absolutely. Yes, Melissa, you can do that. The box border occupancy is 30, so you could change this as thick as you want, the outline of this box, so whatever you want to do. Alert only on the ORB breakouts. You can click on this, and it's going to alert you on breakouts, okay? Now, let me go back. I just took it off. Let me go back and change some of this because I got too much stuff on there right now. I was just going through this to show you. Oh, why isn't this pulling up? All right. I was just going through to show you what these all were, right? It doesn't mean that I use them all. So, actually, I'm not even trading the ORB right now, right? I'm doing my own thing. So, we'll turn this off. We'll just leave the basic stuff on there, okay? So now we have extended Fibonacci patterns on there. Let's take those off as well, and we will get into. I don't know why I keep doing that. No, give me the. There we go. Let me go in here, and we will take the extended off, the 150, right? And we'll take off the other one as well, and we'll hit apply. So now we just only have a 5-minute ORB, 5-minute ORB on here, okay? The 5-minute time frame. So the idea is the first 5 minutes. So let's go to a 5-minute chart. I'm gonna make this simple. We'll go to a 5. I am trading in Heikin-Ashi candles here, okay? So here's your 5-minute from this morning, okay? So the first 5-minute bar is going to put in the high and the low. And the way they say is you're supposed to trade the break of this or the retest of this to go long, the break of this, the retest to go short. Okay? In hindsight 2020, that's what you're supposed to do. If you break down, you come back and retest this area looking for a short. Okay? Now, can you trade inside the box? You can. Where your targets are going to trade. Me, what I do is when we draw that first 5-minute, I look left and I say, okay, what's happening to the left? We made a high, we made a low, right? We broke this low. We're pulling back into this to come here. Now, nobody really does this but me, but I guess I don't know if there's any other people doing this. I don't really watch anybody, but anyways, if this is the low coming into the open, this is my Fib target that I'm going to short and trade to. Okay? Now, that is my target. Okay? So I'd be shorting in here or up here. I would be shorting to come down to here. Matter of fact, I did short this and then we took the long as well. That's how I made my money today. We were done really fast. So, that's how I trade the ORB. I use my Fibs trading the ORB. Okay, I always look left to see what the market is doing. Sometimes we sweep this high, we sell off, but we don't close above. Just doesn't happen. This breaks up, pulls back into 50% of this ORB. I'm going long here, stops down here. We're looking for a target. Price pushes down, pulls back. What's it do? It's hitting what? Supply, 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 supply. You have an A, you have a B, you have a C, a break of this area, and a retest. We're going short. It's pretty simple. Let's look at another one. Now, when you're going back and back testing, you don't get the box. You get the line. So you get the high of the candle, the low of the candle, and 50% of the candle. So this is your ORB right here. Okay. Again, I look left of the open. So my open is right in here. This is our opening bar. I don't know if that's exact. We'll go ahead and mark it up here. 725, 730, right there. Okay, that's our ORB right there. Okay, this wick and that top right there. So there's your first bar. But I look left and I say, okay, what's going on? I'm looking left. We're making what? Lower lows and lower highs. Lows, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We're coming into the open. Got to count a trend line, right? The trend line liquidity is real. We have a fib base here. We hit the target right here at the open. So what does that mean? If I hit a fib target at the open, I'm looking for the opposite direction. So if we hit a fib target at the open, I'm looking for a buy out of this zone. So what does that mean? There's no doubt in my mind. We swept the low. We came back up. We retested. I'm going long in here with a stop down here. And boom, we get the move. That's simple. We retest. What do? We got another long. But I know, right? I know that this could be an A. And if we sweep this low, this can turn into a B. This can turn into an inside C. And then we're going to push lower, right? So let's just see. I don't know that it does it, right? But let's just see if it does. So the next target would be here on the short if this sells off. And it doesn't get there yet. It does here. Okay. It took a while, right? That market stayed sideways. But it got down here and hit it. So these fibs on the macro event are real, right? But anyways, we're not teaching fibs right now. We're just talking about how we're going to trade the ORB. So this is how I trade my ORBs. I always look left. And when you look left, you can be more dominant, more prominent, more consistent if you know what you're looking at. Now, the good part about this, let's go ahead and turn on the indicator. Let's go back to the indicator. Let's go back here. And let's go ahead and turn on the first fib. Let's see how many times the first fib gets hit. Okay, so if you took a trade here, right, if you knew that this was long, and you took a trade here, we hit the first fib. Well, what is that? It's 45 to 79. Pretty good deal, right? And then 79 to about 15, right? So you got target 1 and target 2. Price pulls back. You take another trade. We retest the ORB. You hit target 1 and you hit target 2. Over here, if you took the short on the break, you hit target 1 and target 2. We push back up into the ORB. If you take the short, we hit target 1. I would have my stop on the backside of here. We always get stopped out. We hit target 2. Actually, target 1 again. We didn't get target 2. And your day ends right here. So I would be out of the trade. I'm only trading in the morning anyway, so I'm only in here till about 9 o'clock. So I would get this move, and I wouldn't even get this move. So to be honest with you, right? Let's go ahead and throw the test and retest on here. Okay, so yeah, I'm going there now. Okay, calm down. I'm doing it now. We're going to throw labels, ORB labels, which are going to be, I don't know if it goes back that far. Oh, I got to turn on the other one. I'm sorry. The labels go with the entries. So you turn both of those on, hit apply, and they will show up. There they are. Okay, so I don't know if the retest, yeah, it does show back here. Alright, so look, here's a retest telling you it's retesting to go long. Here's a failed retest because it broke back into the fibs telling you that this ABC swing was good. So the idea is your retest, you're long, you're out right here, right? If you took the short, you would be out on this candle, right? Because we're trading the fibs, so that's what these purple marks are for. This one here got out up here. That's on the outside fib on the other one. Let's go to the next. Let's go to the next day. Okay, here we go right here. Let's look. All right, so red and green. Red to green is a 5-minute ORB. What do we have? Well, we're looking left. We've been making higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, right? And at the opening, we came back, we smashed out this low, we put in a high, we pulled back, we break up, we took out the high, and then we sold completely off. Now, this doesn't tell me much except for I want to look for the last low, and I want to look for the last clear breakup structure, which is right there. That is an ABC swing here. So now I'm looking off at this low and this high to give me the target for the up move, and we get it. We'll just mark it here, right? It's not exact. The algorithm pushed right in top of the 5-minute ORB. And if we go back to this one, it's going to put us right at the top of it. Which, these are two magnificent fibs, right? So they got both hit. Alright, so now what are we looking for? This is a liquidity grab. We went into an ABC swing. Let's just measure it for shits and giggles. Excuse my French, but let's just measure it. So if this is A and that's B, because that broke that high, we didn't quite get up there, did we? No, because we completed a fib here. And if we go out to a higher time frame, I don't have it over here because I didn't load all the data, but there's probably a high there that we're touching. Nonetheless, how do we trade it? You have the option, right? We're on a 5-minute time frame. My entry's on a 1, but you're on a 5-minute time frame. So you're in long. So you got both fibs here got hit. Over here, you're in short. You got two fibs that got hit, and it even went down further. So this ORB would work, right? This one would work. Let's look at this one. Yes, a lot of lines. You don't have to have the lines on there. You can turn them off, right? What I did was I put this in so everybody knows that you have a fib target, right? And you could trade the fib target. You also have a retest for a break or a failed retest that tells you that you shouldn't be in the trade. But anyways, here's an A, B, C swing coming into the open. I would only be looking for longs based off this candle and holding 50%. So what am I looking at? Rejection, rejection, rejection. We push down into a squeeze and we break out of that squeeze. So yes, I would be long. We hit target 1 and 2. This comes up here, it hits target, pushes down, gets a retest, you're in again, hits target 1 and 2, you're out right here. Price finds supply, finds sellers in the supply zone, price pushes down, it's a retest, right? It bounces and then it sells off. That's your entry for a short. It says retest, and boom, you're in it again, right? Or you're breaking this box, you're taking 1 and 2 right here and getting your 20, 30, 40 points and you're out. So it's pretty cool, right? It's not like the best indicator in the world, but boy, I tell you what, in real time, it really does look pretty in real time when it's marking the charts up. And it really gives you another edge in the market. Some people really like this edge, right? So, you know, some people really like this edge. This is what it looks like in real time. I guess it's all based off of you and who you are as a trader. We could take these off, and now you could just trade with these, right, with the retest and test on them. You could take those off and hit apply. If you trade a 15-minute time frame, you can change it to 15. All you gotta do is change the time. You can do an hour, you can do 30 minutes, you can do whatever you want, right? Opening range period, you can just change it from 5 minutes to 60 minutes to 15 minutes to 30 minutes, whatever it is that floats your boat that you want to trade. And then up here is all the different things that you can add to it. So with that being said, are there any questions, guys? Jake says, can you trade inside? You can trade it. You can trade anywhere you want, but the concept of this is you want to break up structure. In my eyes, you want to break up structure. So if this is the first 5-minute bar and you put a wick here and a wick here, some people say, well, if we close above this, I want to go long. If we close below it, I want to go short. Well, I don't want to close. If we're closing that high, I'm not taking the trade. Now we are on a 5-minute. Now, if we say, okay, well, let the first 5 minutes come in and you go back to a 1-minute bar, okay? I'm going back here because I have to do it this way. If we go back to a 1-minute bar, then yes, I'm trading, right? So I'll just show you. So if we count them, now it doesn't look so sexy, does it? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one puts in the high, this one puts in a low. So that 5-minute bar you wanted to trade looked beautiful and sexy, except for it wasn't as sexy as you think. Okay? So we came up here, hit a supply zone, came back down, hit the demand zone, tried to push lower, retest 50%. Now, in a situation like this, you could trade 50% short, or you could trade the 50% long into the top of the ORB, protect yourself, put your stop and profit as you're trading. As you see here, we stayed in that 5-minute most of the day until about 10 o'clock, right? Until about 10 o'clock, it pushed up, retest, and broke down. Now, when you're a fib trader, you can identify what's going on here, right? We know that's an A, B, and we push into C. We're going to swing down here. That's what that box was for. I took the short today out of the. I wasn't trading the ORB, but you could trade it out of the top of the ORB down to the bottom. You guys know that this is supply up here. This is demand down here. So ideally, we go into supply, find sellers. Remember, the banks can't move price higher. It's a one-sum game. So for every buyer that's going up, we have to have somebody on the other side. And when we get up there for price to come down, we have to have somebody on the other side, right? So you got buyers going up, sellers coming down, sellers taking out buyers, buyers taking out sellers, coming back down, sellers getting taken out, buyers taking advantage of the sellers again, right? You got a lot of absorption inside the support zone, which is demand, and you got a lot of absorption being taken, or profits being taken, in the supply zone, which is the top. So there are multiple ways to trade this, but again, the way to properly trade it is you're looking for a breakout and a retest, right? And down here, if you did a breakout and a retest, you got fooled out. So you really got to be able to identify what's going on. Now, if you cut down on if you go to a 5-minute, it cuts down some of the noise. Except for 5-minute bars are closing above the ORB, and it's freaking you out. So the chart looks a little different, but yeah. So this was the ABC swing here. I took the trade to break a structure and a retest. I got in long right here. Went in hardly any drawdown. Made $240 on 2 contracts. Yep, and I caught this short right here down into the bottom. Yeah, I was done today. Yeah, just after the 4-hour candle opened. Yep, we'll get into that later. So, any other questions on this, guys, before we jump off? Awesome. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. If you like the ORB and you're making money with it, go ahead and make sure you show us that you're making money with it, right? This is a prime example, right? Sweep the low, sweep the high, pull back into it. You have a multiple leg here, two-legged pullback, and a move higher. So to me, this was a beautiful trade. If you're trading the ORB, I trade Fibs. The ORB just happens to be there where the Fib is, and is it a coincidence? I don't know. Some of the ORB traders will say, no, that's the way it's supposed to be, right? And I'm okay with that, right? But if the Fib lines out with it, it gives you an extra edge. So, all right, guys, with that being said, I'm going to jump off. Hit that like and subscribe button. Don't forget, we got much love for you guys. A lot of content coming out. If you're already a member, you're only paying $9.99 a month. $9.99 a month, and you have access to over 40 indicators in the live sessions and the education. So with that being said, peace, guys. Love you, and I will see you guys tomorrow for some live trading. Let's get it. We'll see you.